Okay.
Alright, my name is Nathaniel Bailey II, and I'm doing my presentation today on being a baker. So first, baker is someone who makes, bakes, and sells breads, biscuits, and cookies, crackers, pastries, and things of the sort. They work in many different fields. Some are restaurants, some have their own bakeries, some in stores, some in big factories, plants, and they produce various types of goods. Sometimes they sell to individual customers and you just walk in. Others work in areas where they ship them out to large vendors. The daily life of a baker is they usually have early mornings. And not the early mornings we're used to, like 8:30 class, like they're up before the crack of dawn, like 4:30, 5:30, because in this field, if you're making a large order for a client and it's food, it has to, you can't, if the food needs to be done, or they're coming to pick it up at 10 a.m., it's got to be done about like 9:30 or 9 a.m. So you can't, so they have to be up early to prepare the dough and preheat the ovens and get all the materials and make sure they have all the ingredients. And they have tight schedules. There's very little room for extra time because again, they're dealing with food. You can't have too much extra time because the food may go bad. And things have to be kept at certain temperatures for health and sanitary reasons. They now have the budget and order the right amount of materials. Because materials, again, these materials are food, as you see here. There's all types of powder, there's cinnamon, butter, and milk, and all these things that have expiration dates. So they have to make sure they have almost the perfect amount so that they don't waste any money buying too much or have to miss out on the order because they ordered too little. And so depending on the size of where they work, a lot of their jobs, like small bakeries and craft things, they have to work alone or with a very small group. In plants, it's different. You have like 30, 40 other people, and they have all those machines. So depending on where they work, depends on the workload and things as such. A little clip of the life baker.
Penny Goldsmith is the pastry chef at Michael's Genuine in the Miami Design District. Her path to becoming a pastry chef has been anything but so divine.
I went to school for filmmaking and photography, and all my life I've been in the arts in one form or another. And pastry art, it's brilliant. It's edible art.
Her passion and knowledge come through in everything she does, and she clearly is not one to take shortcuts anymore.
I'm really the first one in the morning. I'm up at like 4:30 in the morning. Pastry people are always in early, and I think that's because most of my production is done in the morning. I like to work in like a zen atmosphere. I know a restaurant is really frenetic and loud and crazy, but I think really my hour and a half in the morning is great. So I do open up, and then the boys come, and then pandemonium sets in. So.
Key lime cheesecake flan with passion fruit sorbet, fresh cut papaya, and meringue that is as light as air is the edible expression of this kitchen artist's creativity.
It's a fun, kind of playful dish, and with our Florida heat, it's perfect because it's nice and light and bright. Not only do I like what I do, I love what I do. It's the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And can I see myself doing anything else? I can see myself just doing more of what I do, but not anything differently. I can't believe I have the best job in the world and I actually get paid to do it. It's very cool.
So as you see, she says she's up very early. She loves what she does. There's a lot of bakers, they have to work. They work weekends and long hours, up early. So you kind of have to, in order to get up 4:30 every day, even on weekends, when the rest of the family, everybody else is asleep, you kind of do have to love what you do. The work can be stressful because they work under strict deadlines and time-sensitive baker requirements. They're not usually, sometimes in the smaller industries, they may work on a few different things, like they may have this in the oven for 45 minutes while this is marinating for a certain amount of time, so they're always multitasking and doing a certain kind of things. So they have to be on top of their game all the time, so it can be very intense and stressful. Bakers who run their own businesses have the additional task of managing the business along with all the other baking duties, so that can be a ton of work as well. Commercial bakeries are the larger bakeries that produce basically for like large orders and ship them out to all the other stores and bakeries around town. Retail bakeries are ones where you can go up and order fresh bread or cookies or something for a special occasion, or whatever. And then craft bakery is the smaller, more personal bakery. It's usually owned by like a small group of people. It's usually the nicer bakeries. When you walk in, they have a chalkboard with all these nice writing, nice designs. They'll have a lot of unique little pastry dishes for display that have all these unique names or whatever because they're created by that individual. A lot of the work is done by a small team and usually specialty shop. Like they'll specialize in cupcakes or cookies, some maybe breads, or sometimes they'll do special kind of cakes where they'll make the cake into a celebrity or something unusual. And there's the plant bakeries, which are the large manufacturing where they'll make hundreds and thousands of pounds of just the same product, and they'll ship it out to, like, say, Shopify or Pathmark or something. And a lot of it is not hands-on work. They'll make the dough and things, and they'll put it in the machine. The machine basically does the rest, and then they'll have a distributing company come and distribute the food. Then there's in-store bakeries, such as the one, if you've ever been to Costco, Costco has their own in-store bakery, usually at the back, where they'll bake their breads and things there and then put them out for sale. So it's almost like a mix of the two because they're making a lot more than a specialty bakery, but the menu is consistent and not personalized to the people who go into the production process of the foods themselves. There's a little picture of Obama appreciating the work of the Costco bakery workers. Thought that was pretty cool. Skills required to be successful as a baker. You have to be able to gauge the quality of ingredients. I don't know if you've ever been produce shopping, you see some people when they're holding 2 melons up and they may be hitting one or listening to the sound of the ocean or another, and they have to be able to do things of that nature to gauge the best ingredients to get the best taste of their food. Hygiene and safety are really important. You don't want to have any health violations because if one person gets sick, especially in a small shop, if one person gets sick from something that can be very detrimental to business. You have to have great time management because especially when you're working with food, you don't want to burn something, you don't have something undercooked, you don't want to catch any fires, you don't want anybody to get sick again. And you have to know a lot of the kitchen tools for the different preparation methods for all the different foods, pastries, and delicacies that are produced in the shop. Bakers work usually 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. 5 days is limited to normal business week of Monday to Friday. It may be Saturdays, maybe Sundays, maybe holidays. Now the baker hourly rate is $12, which is less than the guy who burns garbage for hospitals. So this isn't a job you get. This isn't a job you want if you want to be rich. This is something again, if you love baking, love cooking, love people appreciating your food, this is the job you want. This isn't something you want to just work for 20 years and be set for the rest of your life. You don't need a certain level of education to become a baker. You can just become a baker after, I guess, high school, but to get the higher job like manager and certain management positions, you have to have either gone to culinary school or done an apprenticeship, which an apprenticeship is basically like an internship for us. They're in school and they're also working in the field. And they have a certain amount of hours they need to complete. And the amount of hours is ridiculous. Like they need 2 or 3 years worth of experience before they're certified as a baker. And they do get paid, but they get paid like $300 a month, which is slave labor almost. Just some demographics. In schools, there's more females than men now, but actually, the other way around. There's more females in school than men, and most of them are full-time. Very few are self-employed, and most workers do tortilla factoring. They usually make the most money, which I thought was interesting, because I didn't know that was a real thing, a tortilla manufacturing company. But there's more women in the field because I think more women stay there longer. Like it seems to be men come in, do it for what amount of time, and they move on. whereas women come in and they're there for the long term. Like, that's something they do for a much longer time than men. I'm not sure why that is, but it's just how things are. Then I have a clip.
Piece of cakes. Does the soundtrack?
Am I doing okay?
Nice. No, I haven't actually. Been working on it probably about an hour.
You're
so
at
far
10
today.
minutes, so you have 4.
Looks like a G.
Duff and I are both working on this now, so it'll probably take an hour. Duff works real quick. You know, when we're together, we just kind of like split off and do the things that we do best, and it just gets done.
If I'm doing a cake that's got like a really intricate piping job on it, it's almost like you go into this other place. It's weird, you have to change your perspective and you actually shrink down the size of your known world to the tip of your piping bag. And then you come out of it and you're like, oh wow, there's a whole world out here, you know, that I just forgot about for an hour.
I put this thing up on an angle like that because it's supposed to be an off-roading cake.
So that's just an idea. That's cake is a Jeep, and you saw how delicate he was and attentive to the detail. Pretty sure it's edible. I myself wouldn't eat it. It just looks like horrible for
Like
you.
a Jeep.
Yeah, just waiting for a heart attack. Some other bakeries, Pepperidge Farm, Hostess. Pretty sure you're familiar with some of these brands. Goldfish and Ding Dongs, Twinkies, and such.
Didn't Hostess go bankrupt? No. Yeah, but then someone bought it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're still around.
Yeah.
That's what
You can still get your Twinkies.
Twinkies.
So-
That's why they taste it.
And Bimbo Bakeries owns 6 of like the top 12 bakeries in America, so they're pretty profitable. You know, they have Wonder Bread, they have that company that makes those really good pretzels. I forget the name of it. And then here, Doug Goldman was the guy. He runs his own cake shop out of Baltimore, and I was him in Ace of Cakes. The show's basically centered around him and his little craft shop, and you see they make tons of different things. Like they made like a Hogwarts castle that was a cake. Definitely wouldn't recommend eating that. It looks awesome, something cool to take a picture with, but I wouldn't consume it. And there's Anna Olsen, another baker. She was born here, but I think she lives in Canada now, and does a lot of stuff for the Canadian Food Network. She got a couple books. She likes to design a lot of her recipes around seasons to get the best freshness out of the ingredients she uses. And this shows Ace of Cakes, we just watched. And then there's Cupcake Wars. I watched a little bit of both shows, and they both seem pretty terrible. Ace of Cakes especially, like the first guy I showed in the video, he was like, I was here all night. No, not really, I went home, then I came back. And he just seemed real bored and not into it. And Cupcake Wars is just incredibly fake. But the stuff they produce is pretty sweet. Like, there was some, you see, you got Hogwarts, they made car from Back to the Future. That's like the Hubble Space Telescope, and that's apparently a cake. Wow. So that's pretty awesome. And then here's some things like one of their episodes, they had to make an arrangement of 1,000 cupcakes for like the birthday of some whale at SeaWorld. And then there's the Rules Bowl, and then here the Star Wars one. I thought the vehicle was a cupcake, but it's not. It's just a display that holds cupcakes on the wings and all those other cupcakes. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I got a little Cupcake Wars video if I have time to show it.
14 minutes. I wouldn't if I were you.
Alright, cool. And then the Muffin Man. Muffin Man is an old English nursery rhyme. I found after reading there was a movie about daycare sex abuse from Do You Know the Muffin Man? And I thought that was pretty dark and depressing. Like I don't think the movie's about the criminal prosecution of the abuser. It's more of the parents discovering that their child was abused, and I don't think that's an interesting movie or fun at all. But apparently the baker, Muffin Man was a nursery rhyme because back in Old English, they would have, the Muffin Man would come in the early mornings and drop off muffins at the houses, which I thought was pretty cool because no one does that anymore, and I would love to receive fresh English muffins every day. So he was the coolest guy in the block in my opinion. And, that's my presentation.